Here it is, Julie, baby. You want some pepper, too?
Remember the genius dog who built a time machine to teach his adopted boy history?
Degree at Harvard when I was 3.
Peabody's Improbable History looks innocent.
Hello, Julie.
But hidden in those 91 episodes are production disasters and one deeply uncomfortable legal secret.
Every dog should have a boy.
From the single actor who voiced almost every male character to the disturbing official title, the show gave Sherman a detail so weird we had to save it for number 1.
Oh, never mind. I'll fix it.
We're counting down 40 facts that prove this show was way darker than you remember.
Well, I guess they do. My name is Peabody. I am a genius.
And my name is Sherman. I'm a boy. Mr. Peabody's boy.
Number 40. Voice actor Paul Frees voiced most historical characters throughout the series. Napoleon, Wyatt Earp, Alfred Nobel, all the same guy. Every king, inventor, cowboy, and general shared one voice. The studio saved money this way, but it created something hilarious. Every century sounds identical. Paul Frees became the voice of the entire past. Every famous person from history, all voiced by one man. Ancient Rome sounds like the Wild West sounds like revolutionary France. If you think about it too long, it gets really weird really fast.
Street dog to adopt orphan. Doggy wants to be daddy.
Number 39. Most people think Jay Ward created this show. Wrong. Cartoonist Ted Key invented the whole thing. You might know him from Hazel, that comic about a bossy housekeeper. Ward's studio produced it, but Ted Key conceived a super smart dog adopting a kid and time traveling through history. This gets mixed up constantly, even in official books. Ted Key's name disappears while Jay Ward gets credit. Without Ted Key's original idea, none of this exists. That's worth remembering next time someone praises Jay Ward's genius.
Then a few research projects for the government, and I dabbled in the stock market, where I was known as the Wolf of Wall Street.
Number 38. The show started on ABC in 1959 as part of Rocky and His Friends, then jumped to NBC in 1961 for the Bullwinkle Show. This network switch created total confusion about which episodes aired where. Then reruns shuffled everything randomly. Different cities saw different versions. Some episodes got cut, others played twice. Pretty ironic that a show about fixing history has the most messed up broadcast history ever. Even today, fans can't figure out what actually aired when. Peabody would hate this. Number 37. While Paul Frees handled male voices, June Foray and Dorothy Scott brought every historical woman to life. June Foray, already famous as Rocky the Squirrel, played queens, empresses, and important women from every era. Dorothy Scott handled additional female characters. Together, they ensured history's women weren't boring background players. June Foray could sound regal one second and hilarious the next. Between them, every woman in history got real personality. They elevated those 5-minute cartoons into something genuinely memorable and entertaining.
Oh, no, you won't, you nasty Uncle Tom. I shall cross yonder ice floes and escape.
Number 36. Sherman's voice was absolutely perfect. Walter Tetley gave Sherman that sweet, curious voice that made him sound like every kid asking history questions. He delivered that excited, slightly confused energy that made Sherman lovable. Tetley voiced all 91 episodes, staying consistent through network changes. Before this, he'd done radio voices, so playing kids was his specialty. His Sherman never got annoying, just genuinely curious about everything. That's why people loved Sherman. Tetley made him feel real, even in a show about a dog owning a child.
My degree at Harvard when I was 3, then a brief period in the Foreign Service. I speak 8 languages fluently.
Number 35. Bill Scott, co-founder of Jay Ward's studio, voiced Mr. Peabody with that fancy know-it-all tone. Scott already did Bullwinkle, but Peabody was opposite. Smart, calm, superior to everyone. His voice made Peabody sound like a professor trapped in a dog's body. Every line felt like a lecture. The funny part was Peabody's absolute confidence that he was smarter than literally everyone in history. Bill Scott's voice made you believe it. You can't imagine Peabody sounding any other way. That voice is the character.
But he's not a fit person to bring up a boy. In fact, he's not even a person at all.
Number 34. After 1963, TV stations showed reruns in completely random order. Episodes from 1960 followed episodes from 1963. First episodes played last, final episodes played first. Fans went crazy trying to figure out the original sequence. Collectors faced an impossible puzzle. Some packages skipped episodes entirely. Others repeated favorites endlessly. Everyone who watched had a different experience. For a show about time travel, the real disaster was its own timeline. Peabody, who fixes history, would absolutely hate what happened to his show's broadcast history.
Where have you been, you little brat?
Just visiting.
Get in here.
Number 33. Scrambled reruns created decades of arguments about which episodes were original versus edited. Early internet forums became battlegrounds. Someone swore they saw an episode in 1962. Another insisted it aired only in 1968 reruns. Both were probably right, depending on location. This made Peabody's improbable history incredibly hard to document. Even official DVD releases struggled with correct episode order. The irony is perfect. A show about correcting history became animation's most historically confused property. Peabody would be mortified by this mess.
The dog had it out with him.
You're devastatingly beautiful, you minx, you. Say you'll go steady with me.
She will if you'll attack Ptolemy.
Number 32. Peabody's Improbable History was never a separate show originally. It aired as a short segment inside Rocky and His Friends, then The Bullwinkle Show, sandwiched between other cartoons. Each segment ran about 5 minutes as part of a variety format. Peabody never got his own opening credits or theme song from 1959 to 1963. Later, some stations showed segments as standalone episodes, confusing everyone further. The show existed between other shows, a segment pretending to be independent. That's why modern viewers get confused.
I'm glad you're convinced. Put the hat in the refrigerator while I set the WABAC controls.
Where are we going today?
Texas.
Number 31. These massive historical rewrites happened in roughly 5-minute episodes. Peabody and Sherman would time travel, find history broken, fix the disaster, drop a terrible pun, and return home, all in 300 seconds. That's shorter than most YouTube videos. The pacing was absolutely bonkers. No time for setup, character development, or nuance. Just arrive, problem, solution, pun, done. The speed forced writers to be efficient and clever. Pretty impressive cramming entire historical adventures into less time than making a sandwich takes.
Barometers as well.
I never knew they could forecast the weather.
You never heard of Pharaoh and Warmer?
Number 30. After fixing each historical disaster, Mr. Peabody dropped a deliberately terrible pun related to the subject. Every single time. One example? Crimea doesn't pay. So bad it's good. These weren't accidental dad jokes, they were intentional groaners that became the signature. Kids probably didn't get half of them, making it funnier for adults. The puns were so reliable you could set your watch. Sherman would respond, "Oh, Mr. Peabody!" Episode over. The formula never changed, and somehow that made it perfect.
Hello again, Peabody here. The youngster depositing milk in a cowboy hat is my boy Sherman.
You're right, Mr. Peabody. It is a 10-gap.
Number 29. Sherman set the WABAC machine to became one of cartoon history's most iconic lines. Every episode started with this exact phrase. It functioned like a magic spell, signaling time travel was happening. Fans could recite it from memory decades later. It became shorthand for the entire show. You didn't need explanations. Just say that line and people knew. The repetition made it powerful. Kids loved the predictability. Adults appreciated the structure. That simple opening became the show's brand, more recognizable than any theme song.
There was a gaping hole in it, courtesy of yours truly. The rocks roared through the aperture, and it's...
Number 28. The show never depicted their return trip from the past. They'd fix history, drop their pun, and the episode just ended. Cut to black. No journey home, no exit through the wee back door. They apparently returned off-screen between episodes. This created an odd narrative gap nobody questioned then. Did they walk back? Teleport? Did time reset automatically? The show never explained it. Ancient Rome, then suddenly home with zero transition. For a show about time travel mechanics, surprisingly lazy, but somehow it worked perfectly.
Sherman had collected 10 Ranger prospects.
Say, this little fella here with us that if we unjoin the Ranger outfit, you...
Number 27. Peabody and Sherman don't time travel for sightseeing. History is always wrong when they arrive. Something's already catastrophically off track, requiring fixes before returning home. The timeline is broken by default. Their mission was repair work, not tourism. They weren't visiting the past. They were rescuing it. This raised unanswered questions. Who broke history first? Why is it always wrong? Is some cosmic force constantly sabotaging the timeline? The show never cared to explain. History was broken, Peabody fixed it, pun happened, done.
Cleopatra. I instructed Sherman to set the WABAC controls for the year 42 BC.
Number 26. Most science fiction makes time travel complex, with dangerous paradoxes and careful planning. Not here. Peabody and Sherman literally walk through a door into another century. That's it. No dramatic lights, no spinning clocks, no elaborate sequences. They'd step into the WABAC, suddenly they're in ancient Egypt or medieval France. The simplicity was charming. Time travel felt as casual as entering another room. This made it accessible for kids while suddenly mocking serious sci-fi shows. Why complicate it? Just walk through. History awaits.
But what is it?
Well, actually, it's a time machine. I call it a WABAC.
Number 25. The time machine is called WABAC, and fans spent decades trying to decode it. The original show never explained it. There's no confirmed meaning in canon. Zero. The letters don't officially stand for anything. This drove fans crazy for years. People invented theories and explanations, none verified. One behind-the-scenes theory suggests it references UNIVAC, those giant 1950s computers. Makes sense given the era, but never officially confirmed. The mystery remains. WABAC is just WABAC. Sometimes mysteries are better left unsolved.
We just set it, turn it on, open the door, and there we are. Or were, really.
Number 24. That WABAC name likely connects to Cold War era supercomputers like UNIVAC and ENIAC. These massive machines filled entire rooms and represented cutting-edge 1950s technology. Naming Peabody's time machine WABAC was probably a playful nod to computers that amazed and terrified people. It made the machine sound scientific and advanced, though it was just a cartoon prop. The reference worked because 1959 audiences were fascinated by computers. Today, UNIVAC is ancient history, but WABAC lives on. The time machine outlasted its inspiration.
Palace. Unfortunately, when we arrived, we found the Queen in the midst of having a shave.
Hokey!
Number 23. The time machine is officially called both WABAC machine and WABAC machine. Same device, two names used interchangeably. The on-screen label literally says WABAC in some episodes, like during the Charge of the Light Brigade segment. Other times, characters call it WABAC. This dual naming confused fans, but gave the machine flexibility. Both names stuck. Decades later, the Internet Archive named their website tool the WABAC Machine, directly referencing this show. Peabody's time machine inspired actual internet infrastructure. That's unexpected legacy.
I built this for Sherman's birthday. Happy birthday, Sherman.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Peabody.
Number 22. Mr. Peabody built the WABAC time machine as Sherman's birthday gift. A birthday gift. Most kids get toys or bikes. Sherman got a device breaking physics laws, allowing travel through all human history. That's the most extravagant present ever given to a child. Questions arise. How old was Sherman? Did Peabody casually invent time travel for a birthday party? Was there cake? The show treats this as completely normal, making it funnier. Peabody's parenting involves giving his adopted son unlimited space-time continuum access.
It's nice to be a part of history. But all in all, it's just the thing for a boy in an apartment.
Number 21. Mr. Peabody isn't just smart. He's a genius polymath superior to literally every human encountered. He speaks multiple languages, knows every historical detail, practices multiple professions, solves problems instantly. He's lawyer, scientist, inventor, historian, and scholar. Every episode reinforces that Peabody is the smartest being in any room, century, or timeline. Even famous geniuses look dumb compared to him. This creates weird dynamics where a dog consistently outsmarts humanity's greatest minds. Peabody isn't just competent, he's intellectually untouchable. He's better than you.
The name, sir, is Peabody, and I intend to adopt this boy.
Number 20. The core premise is completely literal. A dog legally adopted a human child. Not metaphorically, not as a joke. Mr. Peabody, a dog, went through legal adoption proceedings and became Sherman's legal guardian. The show treats this as totally normal. Nobody questions it, no social workers raise concerns. Society accepted that a canine could parent a human. This would never happen in reality, but the show's genius was presenting it straight-faced. Peabody is Sherman's dad. Sherman is Peabody's son. Paperwork filed, case closed. Did you watch Peabody's Improbable History as a kid, whether during its original run, in reruns, or on DVD? What do you remember most? Tell us in the comments which historical figure or time period made the biggest impression on you.
Then one day, while watching some boys at their innocent play, I spotted Sherman.
Number 19. The very first episode explicitly shows Peabody explaining how he built the WABAC and adopted Sherman. Unlike most shows slowly revealing backstory, Peabody's Improbable History dumps the entire premise in episode 1. Peabody straight up tells you, "I'm a genius dog. I invented time travel. I adopted this kid. Now we fix history together." Done. No mystery, no gradual world building, just immediate exposition. This directness was unusual, but worked perfectly. Kids didn't wait for context. Adults appreciated efficiency. The show explained rules up front, then got on with adventures.
This court can see no reason why, if a boy can have a dog can't have a boy.
Number 18. The first episode is titled A Dog and His Boy, openly establishing the adoption premise immediately. Not a boy and his dog, which would be normal, a dog and his boy. The title tells you exactly what the power dynamic is. Peabody owns Sherman. The dog possesses the boy. Right there in the title, no ambiguity. This wasn't subtle storytelling. It was a deliberate statement about the show's upside-down world. Most cartoons would ease into such weirdness. This one announces it in episode 1's title.
In the luxurious penthouse of perhaps the most famous soldier of fortune the world has ever known. Me. How do you do?
Number 17. Mr. Peabody is officially described as British, an oddly specific detail for an American cartoon dog. Why British? The show never explains. Maybe the accent, maybe the intellectual snobbery, maybe the bow tie. British characters were often portrayed as refined and educated in American media, so making Peabody British reinforced his genius status. It gave him extra sophistication. American dogs are loyal and friendly. British dogs are apparently time-traveling geniuses who adopt children and lecture historical figures. Very on brand for someone outsmarting Napoleon.
Set the Wayback Machine for the 6th century, Sherman.
6th century it is, Mr. Peabody.
Number 16. Way Back. The on-screen label WABAC is explicitly shown during the Charge of the Light Brigade segment and other episodes. This confirms both names, WABAC and WABAC, are official. The machine itself displays WABAC on its interface, settling debates about whether that name was legitimate. Fans who argued for years finally had visual proof. Both names coexist in canon. The show didn't care about consistency. Very on brand for 1960s animation. Sometimes Wayback Machine, sometimes Wayback Machine. Sometimes both in one episode. The machine doesn't care. Number 15. The show was officially educational. The segment was officially framed as educational, despite constantly distorting history for laughs. Networks and producers marketed it as helping kids learn about historical events and figures. Parents and educators bought this promise, expecting accurate history lessons. The show delivered. Sort of. Yes, kids learned Napoleon existed and the Charge of the Light Brigade happened, but the actual events? Completely twisted for comedy. The education was more historical fan fiction. Still, the educational label gave legitimacy. It wasn't just silly cartoons, it was teaching history, technically.
Why is the Claremont up for sale? Today's the day I'm supposed to race against Robert E. Leach's Clipper ship.
Number 14. Educational framing created tension with parents and educators expecting accurate history. They wanted kids learning real facts about Napoleon, not watching a cartoon dog outsmart him with puns. Some parents complained the show was misleading children about historical events. Teachers had to correct students citing Peabody's version as fact. The show walked a fine line between comedy and education, often landing squarely on comedy. But complaints never killed it. Kids remembered these twisted history lessons better than textbooks. Maybe that was the real education all along.
Pyro.
Step right up, folks. Buy you an Egyptian pharaoh barometer. Take a barometer home to the little woman.
Look at that, Mr.
Number 13. A total of 91 short episodes were produced, unusually high for a supporting segment. Most cartoon segments made 20 or 30 episodes and quit. 91 is massive commitment. That's nearly 2 years of weekly content. The show had endurance. Writers created 91 different historical disasters for Peabody to fix. 91 puns. 91 time travel adventures. That's impressive creativity and stamina. The high count also explains why syndication was such chaos. So much content to shuffle. But it meant generations had plenty to watch and rewatch.
Shall I set the Wayback Machine, Mr. Peabody?
Please do, Sherman, for the year 1807.
Number 12. Every time travel adventure begins with Sherman setting the machine to a specific historical time and place, reinforcing the formula. Sherman set the Wayback Machine to, followed by year and location. Then Sherman physically operates controls. This ritual gave the show structure and predictability. Kids loved the repetition. It also established Sherman wasn't just a passenger. He actively participated in time travel. Peabody gave orders, but Sherman made it happen. This gave Sherman agency and importance. He wasn't tagging along, he was the operator.
And the place?
New York Harbor and the banks of the Hudson River, where we'll meet Robert Fulton.
Number 11. The show's structure is anthology style, allowing it to jump centuries without continuity concerns. There's no overarching plot, no character development, no season-long story arcs. Each episode is completely self-contained. They could visit ancient Rome one week and the Wild West next without explanation. This format gave writers total freedom. They didn't worry about continuity or callbacks. Every episode was a fresh start. For viewers, this meant watching episodes in any order and still understanding everything. No homework required. The anthology structure made the show timeless.
And the place?
Camelot, where we'll visit King Arthur.
Number 10. Historical topics include Casanova, Jim Bowie, Napoleon, Wyatt Earp, and King Arthur. An unhinged syllabus for 5-minute cartoons. These aren't kid-friendly historical figures. Casanova was a notorious womanizer. Jim Bowie died violently at the Alamo. Wyatt Earp was a gunslinger. The show covered seduction, warfare, duels, and medieval legends with the same casual energy as Saturday morning cereal commercials. No topic was off limits, no era too complex, no figure too controversial. Writers threw darts at history books and animated whatever stuck.
Who's got the salt?
Here it is, Julie, baby. You want some?
Number 9. Military disasters like the Charge of the Light Brigade are played entirely for comedy. The Charge was a catastrophic military blunder during the Crimean War, where British cavalry charged directly into Russian artillery. Hundreds died. It was tragic and bloody. Peabody's Improbable History turned it into a cartoon with jokes and puns. This was bold. Most children's shows wouldn't touch military disasters. This one made them funny. The show didn't dwell on death or tragedy. It focused on situational absurdity. Kids remembered The Charge because of this show.
Hello, Julie, honey.
Crown and blow came when the great man...
Number 8. Famous figures mix with outlaws. Scientific and cultural figures like Alfred Nobel and the Wright brothers appear alongside outlaws and royalty. One week you're meeting the dynamite inventor, next week you're with cowboys. There's no hierarchy of importance. Einstein gets the same treatment as Billy the Kid. Queens share screen time with pirates. The show treated all historical figures as equally valid subjects for time travel adventures. This democratic approach to history was unusual. Most educational content prioritized important figures. This show said everyone from history is interesting, world changer or troublemaker.
Excuse the position, just practicing my yoga. Well, now that you're here, we may as well get to know each other. My name is Peabody.
Number 7. The segment blends history, science fiction, and satire long before that mix became common in children's television. You had time travel, science fiction, real historical events, history, and sharp social commentary, satire, all in 5-minute cartoons for kids. This combination wouldn't become mainstream until shows like Doctor Who gains popularity. Peabody's Improbable History was ahead of its time, mixing genres that usually stayed separate. The science fiction provided adventure. History provided context. Satire provided edge. Together, they created something unique, working for both kids and adults. Number 6. The phrase "Wayback Machine" entered pop culture as shorthand for traveling into the past. People use it in everyday conversation. Let me hop in the Wayback Machine and remember. It became a metaphor everyone understands, even people who never watched the show. The Internet Archive named their website history tool the Wayback Machine, giving the phrase permanent digital relevance. This is massive cultural impact. A cartoon from 1959 created terminology people still use decades later. The phrase transcended its source material. It's in the cultural lexicon forever. Number 5. The formula never changes. History is broken. Peabody fixes it. The episode ends on a pun. A loop so tight it became iconic. Every episode follows this exact structure with zero deviation. You always know what's coming. The comfort is the point. Kids love the predictability. Adults appreciated the discipline. The tight formula forced writers to be creative within constraints. They couldn't rely on plot twists or cliffhangers. They had to make the same structure interesting 91 times. And they did. The formula became the show's identity. Number 4. Sherman is canonically described as Mr. Peabody's adopted pet boy, wording that has become the show's most disturbing modern controversy. Not adopted son, not adopted child, pet boy. The show literally uses language positioning Sherman as property, not family. This language made sense in 1959 when the joke was the absurdity of a dog adopting a human. Today, it reads very differently. The pet framing implies ownership, subordination, and disturbing power imbalance. Modern audiences find this deeply uncomfortable. Pet Boy has aged catastrophically poorly. Number 3. The core premise treats building a time machine as completely normal. Mr. Peabody, a dog, just casually invented time travel. No origin story, no montage of failed attempts, no scientific breakthrough moment. He just built it. The show presents this as no big deal, like building a birdhouse or fixing a car. Peabody's genius is so extreme that breaking physics laws is just another Tuesday. This casual treatment of world-changing technology is hilarious. Most stories make time travel the dramatic centerpiece. This show makes it background information. Number 2. Mr. Peabody is consistently portrayed as intellectually superior to every human he meets, including history's greatest minds. He doesn't just match their intelligence, he surpasses it. He outwits Napoleon's military strategy. He corrects Einstein's theories. He outmaneuvers Machiavelli's schemes. He solves problems that stumped civilizations. This creates fascinating dynamics where humanity's peak achievements are constantly one-upped by a cartoon dog. The show's message, intentional or not, is that Peabody represents intelligence's pinnacle, and everyone else, human, is a step below. That's the entire show. Number 1. The core premise is literal. A dog legally adopts a human child, treated as completely normal by everyone. This isn't metaphor. This isn't fantasy logic. Within the show's universe, the legal system processed paperwork allowing a canine to become legal guardian of a human minor. Courts approved it. Society accepted it. Sherman calls Peabody his father. Peabody calls Sherman his boy. Their relationship has legal standing. This premise is so fundamentally absurd, it defines everything else. A dog owns a child. That's the show. Everything else exists to support that impossible premise. And there you have it, 40 bizarre and fascinating facts about Peabody's improbable history. Which facts surprised you the most, and which ones did we miss? Tell us in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this trip back to the 1960s and time-traveling cartoon dogs, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with that friend who still thinks time travel should be way more complicated than walking through a door. And until next time, this is American Vintage Tales.